2022 is the year to grow an Instagram account. Whether you start from scratch or you already have an account that you're trying to bring back to life and finally find the secret sauce to gain new followers, this video will tell you how to grow an audience on Instagram in 2022. And I can guarantee you it has never been easier to grow an Instagram account, to grow an engaged audience on Instagram, and most importantly, to finally monetize this audience so you can get more wealth and more freedom. So how do we go about it? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ginny. I'm an Instagram expert and I help small businesses and wannabe entrepreneurs to grow an audience on Instagram and convert their followers into paying clients. I'm sharing bi-weekly videos on how to do this, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. So the first thing you really need to be aware of is the new algorithm that Instagram is going to introduce in 2022. So Instagram definitely seems to want to do more for content creators, and that's again the reason why it's going to be much easier to grow on Instagram in 2022. So what is this new algorithm? Well, technically it's not a new algorithm, it's more like a new feature on how you're going to see your feed. You might already have it, probably not. It's going to be rolled out in the first 6 months of this year, but it seems like it's going to be quite a game changer. So let me explain. Soon you'll be able to change how you consume your feed. So you'll have three options. First, home. This is how you currently see your Instagram feed, meaning that Instagram is pushing the content that they believe you want to see based on what you like, dislikes, and so on. So it does mean that you don't see everyone's content, at least not in the first top post. And that's why they now introduced two different options. So you'll have a filter, and then the second one will be favorites. And this is quite an interesting one. It will be a list of accounts that you added to your favorites and that you absolutely don't want to miss out on. So it could be your favorite creators, could be your family and friends, could be anything. And then finally, the last option is following. So this is probably what you wanted to see for a long time, but it's chronological post without any suggestions. And this is an important one, and I'll come to this in a second. So this means several things for you. First, for the filter favorites, this is a whole new strategy. Basically, you absolutely want to push your followers to add you as a favorite, because it means that they will see your content, probably make sure that they see your content. And if they see your content, they're going to engage with it. If they engage with it, Instagram's gonna think that's great content, I'm going to push it to more people. They're going to push it on the home feed, on the explore page, and so on. And this is basically how you grow an engaged audience on Instagram as well. Obviously, the chronological feed is crucial. It means that, your content will be seen as well more. So if people click on following and you post the content at the right time, it could mean that your content is seen a little bit more than currently. And finally, that's an important point that they mentioned for the following, is that you will see only people you follow and not suggested people. Because you might have realized, you might have not, but currently when you scroll on your feed, on your home feed, you also actually see posts from people you don't follow. So suggested post for you, a suggested account for you. A bit like the Reels feed. On the Reels feed, you see people you follow, but also people you don't follow. And this is an interesting point, because it means that your post could be pushed to people who don't follow you. But how do you make that happen? How do you make your post seen by people who don't follow you? So the principle is the same as the explore page. Instagram is pushing accounts, posts based on the things that you tend to like on Instagram, based on the thing that you tend to watch, and so on. But also based on the people you follow. So there's two things that you can do to have your content seen by people who don't follow you. First of all, and that's one that you tend to forget, is make sure you follow only people that are either competitors, or people who are doing the same thing as you, or people who have the same ideal audience as you. So let me give you an example. If you're a photographer, especially a wedding photographer, you want to follow photographers and wedding photographers, but you also want to follow wedding planners and anyone that's kind of in this wedding industry. Because it means that the fact that you just follow these people, Instagram might suggest your post to their audience, if that makes sense. The second thing that you absolutely want to do is optimize your profile and your post for SEO. So SEO is going to be more and more important on Instagram. Basically, Instagram is going to pick up on some keywords to be able to push the content to other people. So make sure to use certain keywords in your caption, in your hashtags, but also in your profile that describes what you do, but also what you share, the content that you share, and so on. So hashtags, I feel like, are not going to be used as much as they used to. People are not actively going to look for a hashtag, but using the right hashtags are going to help you to be seen by the the right people. Again, it's this whole SEO thing. Okay, now that we talked about the new algorithm for 2022, let's see what else you can do. What is going to matter on Instagram in 2022 to grow your account faster? Okay, a very important point is community. So community has always been important, but I feel like Instagram really understood that and made it even more clear that community is going to be at the center of everything. So community is a group of like-minded people, so basically sharing the same interests, the same desires, or the same struggles, and they have a leader. That's going to be you. And that's basically your Instagram account and you as the center of this. But why community is the best way to grow? Because it means you don't just build a following base, like just numbers of people who are going to follow you but then forget about you. Like, remember how many times it happened that you followed someone and then you, first of all, you never see the post again because you never really engaged with that person, or that you completely forgot who that person was because that person didn't really stand out and kind of blended with many other people. Well, that's what you really don't want. You really want to build a community so people, when they follow you, they actually actively follow you for you. They like you, they trust you, they recommend you, they basically fall in love with you. And most importantly, these people are going to be ready to buy from you. So how do we build a community? Well, I talk a lot about community on my Instagram account, but also here on YouTube. But I do feel there are 3 different points that are going to matter a lot in 2022 when it comes to building a community. The first one is authenticity. Everyone brings value on Instagram nowadays. So value is great and you still want to bring value on Instagram, but that's not going to be enough. What will make the difference is more authenticity. People and your followers need to relate to you. They need to see you understand them, and they need to see that you're not there to rip them off. With the rise of influencers, coaches, with the rise of scammers as well along the way, basically people are losing their trust. It's not as easy as it used to be to sell to someone, but also to grow an audience. But also to grow an audience that actually trusts you. They don't really trust at first sight like they could have done before, simply because the novelty effect has faded. So you need to be more real. I know we've been talking about authenticity quite a lot for the last few years, but I do feel 2022 is going to be the year for really more realness, when people are going to be fed up with the whole big influencers and so on. So enough trendy reels, enough selling to your audience without being real about it, without being frank about it, without being honest about it. You really want to bring more to them. You want to be real, you want to be authentic, say things as they are. So if your life sucks, just tell them. If you had a bad experience with a client, just tell them. If you're trying to sell to them, just tell them and be honest. People need to see that they're not alone in their struggles. People need to feel like you're like them in a way. They don't need to see just the good stuff. So it's not about sharing more, but it's about being more real when you show up on Instagram. Okay, the second thing that's going to make an impact in 2022 is interaction. Meaning you need to involve your community. You need to show them you care. And my favorite way to do this is to use interactive stories. So using polls, using quizzes, using questions, and making sure that you actually use their feedback. So if you ask them something on a poll, making sure that you share your thoughts behind it, you share their thoughts behind it, especially when you ask a question, make sure that you share the answers, really get them involved. It's not just for the sake of sharing quizzes and polls and so on. It's really having a whole strategy behind it. And the other thing that I really liked recently from Instagram is actually the fact that you can reply to a comment with a reel. I don't know if you've seen this new feature, but you can, it's the same way as TikTok, right? You can answer a comment with a new video, with a reel. And I just think it's a great way to show up, first of all, authentically, like we talked about, but also to involve your community. Okay, and the third way to really make an impact, to really build a community in 2022 is with video content. Again, not something really new, but there are still people out there who are not creating video on Instagram. And I know you kind of maybe miss the just, you know, static post of Instagram because it was easier, because if you're a photographer, maybe it's what you like to do. No, it doesn't mean you have to do just video content, but you absolutely have to include video content in your strategy in 2022 if you haven't done it already in 2021. So I know it can be hard, but video content is here to last. So you have to take the leap. But why? Because people connect more with videos. They connect more with a person if you can show your face and, you know, show yourself on video. But also can create more emotion, so more connection with the brand if you just stay more on a brand level. And it also deliver value in a more entertaining way, so more connections, more emotions, more entertainment. That's why people love videos, they love consuming videos, and they connect with the brand or the person on a more deep level. So make sure to create videos in 2022, but make sure to follow these points. Do not create just trends. Focus more on creative and authentic videos. Use your own style and personality in the process. Whether that's funny, raw, highly edited, music-based, text-based, find your style and stick to it. Okay, and finally I want to finish this video with a very, very important point that a lot of people tend to forget. You can't grow on Instagram if you don't stick to it long enough. Your mindset and attitude will be everything. So have a goal in mind and really picture that goal, visualize that goal. Picture what it will feel like once you reach that goal. You really want to have all the emotions around that goal and you want to visualize it often enough. So if you need to see it on paper, you can write it, you can have photos of it that represent the goal, you can picture it in your head. There's many ways to really visualize that goal, but you absolutely have to do it. So for example, if your goal for 2022 is to quit your job and make a living out of your Instagram account, then you really want to picture going in your boss office and giving your resignation later. You really want to feel like the before, the during, the after, how you're gonna feel it, like all the emotions connected to that goal. This was exactly my goal in 2020, was to quit my job by the end of the year. 6 months later, I was able to do this and I kept, picturing this. I kept picturing this for years before that. Quitting the job and then living my life after that and so on. So that's going to be so powerful to really keep going when you're not gonna see the result that you want, because there will be hard times. It's not gonna be, just a straight line to success. There are going to be ups and downs and you need to keep going when you go through a down. So don't feel guilty for being a dreamer. If that's what you are, keep dreaming and keep that goal in mind and that feeling in mind, because that's going to be a huge part of the process and a huge part of your success. Okay, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because I'm sharing with you bi-weekly video on how to grow on Instagram and convert your followers into paying clients.